Hey, welcome back to my channel called The Reverse Effect, where I help you break the chains of your past so that you can unlock the doors to your future. And what I focus on is what I call my 4 quadrants of well-being. That's personal development, goal achievement, health and wellness, and relationship development. And we combine those 4 quadrants to create one pillar called success, whether it be in our relationships, whether it be in our money, and ultimately whether it's inside of our life. So I have another question from as a matter of fact, this is not so much a question from one of my subscribers. This is actually a comment that they made, and it really touches me at the core of why I'm doing this and what I had to battle with in order to keep this channel going. One of the things I had to battle is I do marketing. Um, and one of the tenets of marketing is trying to kind of stay focused on one thing so that you don't be confusing to your audience. But I had to understand is that my audience is not just boxed in. You know, you are dynamic and you probably have a lot of things, a lot of changes that you would like to make to different aspects of your life so that you can create one whole life. So I just decided on this channel, you know what, I'm just gonna lay it all out. I'm gonna go against, what I've learned, and I'm just gonna try to help in what I call these 4 quadrants of well-being, and that's where this question comes in at. Before we get started, I'm actually going to be uploading videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So make sure that you hit the like, subscribe, and notification button so that you can get all this content that I'm about to be putting up here. Like I say, if you know my story, you know that I've made tons of mistakes. And on paper, I should be a failure. But I am far from that. Actually, I've just started making my 6 figures as an entrepreneur, and I love it. It's not about just the money for me, even though I am about my money, but I'm also happy. I'm no longer a victim to my past. I've been able to break those chains. And over the last 5 years since I first started this channel, that's what I've been focused on is how do I actually document this journey so that when people find me, they'll see that I'm just not somebody who just popped on the scene doing an act, that I took all the steps, that I am a living example of what you can do, even here on YouTube, starting from my old cell phone videos to now putting out something that I think is worthy of the people that's going to be learning from me, to be able to say, hey, you know what? If he can do it, I can definitely do it. No Ponzi schemes, no scams, no multi-level marketing, no investing in stocks, bonds, all that. My goal is to show you how to invest in you so that you can be the man or woman that you desire. All right, so let me get to it. Here goes the comment. As always, I'm going to post the original video link down inside the description section. So you guys please check out the description. I have a lot of different ways that you can connect with me on there. So here comes what they said. This is from Jessica Kearns. These videos are helpful for so many men that don't have men like you guys to talk to or listen to. That she asked me, please keep making these videos. This is the part that I like. I share this channel with my kid's father. He just was released from prison after 17 months. He's been in and out over the last 8 years. That was kind of me for 15 years, in and out. He missed so much of his kid's life, as I did. The first 10 years of 3 of my children's life, I was in and out. And my oldest daughter, probably the first 13 years of her life, in and out. And it definitely caused a fracture in our relationship that we're working to keep rebuilding now, but we'll get to that in another video. So he missed so much of his kids' lives. He's trying hard to turn it around, but lacks solid males around him. I also want to make this, and I'm going to make this distinction clear on this channel. There is definitely a difference between a boy, a male, and a man. We'll talk about that later too. Okay, his father isn't around, no male role models, but when he's out, he's a good father and does the best he knows how to do. Keep making these videos and speak wisdom into these men's lives, and they need to hear it from somewhere. So that's where I want to get into inside this video, is understanding that a lot of the issues that we have growing up can be based on our circumstances, based on our environment, based on the lack of information that we were not provided from the people that were supposed to care about us. But as men, when you start to become a man, you have to learn to put that behind you. Whatever happened to you is over. It's done. When it comes time to make big changes in your life, blaming no one else is going to help you. And that's the thing that I went through. I could say, I guess I was about 27, 28 when I had started looking at my life and realized that, hey, even though, I was in the streets, I was in the drug game, I was doing good up and down, but in and out of jail, that when I looked at my life, I definitely wasn't where I wanted to be. And at this time, 27, I was facing going back to prison again. So I'm like, oh man, what am I doing? And for the longest, when I sat down and actually thought about it, I was blaming society, the white man. I was blaming, my mom not being there when I moved when I was 15, even though I was doing what I wanted to do. I was blaming my dad for not being forceful enough to try to make me come back into a structured environment. I just blamed a whole lot of things. And then finally I had to get to a point when I had to say to myself, hey, Clint, if you're supposed to be a man, you need to man the fuck up and stop blaming other people long years ago for the choices that you're making today. And that's a lot of the problem that we do. You know what? This is one of the things I pointed out to one of my clients, one of my men clients, the other day when we were talking, is I said, you know what? The pain that you claim you're going through. Now, this is hard. This is man-to-man talk right here. The pain that you claim that you're going through is your fault. If you are not immediately hurting right now from pain being caused to you, that pain is only a part of your imagination. I talk about this in my book, The Reverse Effect. Your past and your future only exist in, I'm going to say, two places. In your head and the people that you inflicted on. If you walk up to a bus stop, if you walk into a crowded group of people right now and stood next to them and smiled and said nothing, guess what? Your pain hurts no one. Nobody even knows it because it's here. At some point, when we want to become men or women, it was time to man up, put on your big girl panties and says, you know what? All those things that happened to me happened. All those choices that I didn't make that could have been good choices, they're done. Now, what am I going to do about it? If holding on to these negative feelings, holding on to this negative energy is not serving you, why hold on to it? Let it go. You got to ask yourself, what is my reason for staying upset? If staying upset is not helping you, you got to move forward. And that's man-to-man talk. You're not going to get that from a lot. Your therapist is going to tell you to, look inside yourself and forgiveness and all these things. Don't get me wrong. I talk about self-forgiveness as well, but I talk about self-forgiveness. You don't have to forgive anybody else. You just have to just not worry about it anymore. You have to decide that whatever happened is not happening anymore. The same thing as if you've been incarcerated, if you made bad choices. If you've made bad choices, the best that you can do is look to other people who's made similar bad choices that was able to shift their life. Yours truly is definitely one of them. Like I said, I've been to prison 4 times. All right? I didn't get my first job till I was 35. I didn't really start working on changing my life around till I was 33. And that, then it started really getting serious about 35. And I had to start over going from 6 figures in the streets to working at Kentucky Fried Chicken with a minimum wage job. And this just wasn't some one thing I did for a month. I did that for 2 years while pushing a push lawnmower out the back of my truck till I ended up building that up. And I was having 3 jobs at one time. Only thing I had enough time was to do was sleep, eat. I go on an occasional date, but I worked every day, So a lot of men out there, males, I'm going to say, that choose to use excuses for to fuel the current state of their life, this is all I would say to you. It's your choice. You know, the thing is now we're living in an information age. There is so many different ways to make money right here. There are so many people that make money just off their story, just off the information that they have and that they're delivering to other people. People do it cussing. People do it speaking Ebonics. People do it speaking hillbilly. People, I mean, there is no reason why we can't make the positive changes that we want inside of our life. Well, there are reasons. Laziness, lack of commitment, lack of desire, taking the victim stance. If we remove those reasons and decide that, hey, you know what? We're ready to take our life to the next level and live happy, break these chains of our past, unlock these doors to our future, all of us can do it. And with all this information around us, it can happen in rapid fire. In a few of my videos, I often show a little picture of a video clip, and then you can go back on my old YouTube channel, some of my old YouTube videos 5 years ago, and see when I first started. I had no books. You know, I had no computer. I just had a little Dell laptop that was already 4 years old at that time. But I decided, hey, you know what? My destiny is to do great and phenomenal things in my life. So what I had to do was align my vision with what I wanted to do, and then align what I wanted to do with the behaviors that I was doing, and just sit back and keep pushing forward and watch the results manifest. So I thank Jessica for this comment right here. It was really something that was actually, it was touching for me, because I hope that watching my videos had a big impact. But I will apologize, because after that video I did have a drop off. But we ain't having that this time. Right now I'm in it for the long haul. I figured out what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. So I thank you for watching. If you like this content, like I said, make sure that you hit the like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification button so you can get more videos like this. And hey, tell me what you think about this video. Do you agree with what I said, or do you disagree? And if you do, you know, leave a comment. Maybe we can talk about it on here. Until then, remember, each one teach one. Always strive to be the strongest version of yourself. Never compare yourself to average people, or you'll never be more than average.